It's been too long. It's been way too long. What's up, y'all? Long time no see. Man, it's been a good ass minute. What's going on? How's everybody going? Night been going so far? How's everybody day been going? God damn. It's been a minute. Cito, Austin Sullivan, Champo 8, Matty D. What is up? Cito doing pretty good. That's what's up. That's what's up. Man. Give me a few minutes real quick, and then we'll start discussing all of the shit that you see on the thumbnail. Atlanta, host of our Superspeedway rule changes, Dodge, the race to the chase, and my Chicagoland experience. And I'm going to add NASCAR 26 to that as well, because it's been some stuff that came out about that as well. So much shit to talk about. So we're going to be here for a good minute. Hell yeah, man. I feel like I'm on an island alone when it comes to feeling excited for the North Wilkesboro race, man. I think it's going to be a good race. I said that on Twitter, and it was some people that disagree with me on that. I felt like last year's All-Star race that was pretty good, so I think it's going to be a good race. 450 laps, 750 horsepower, lower downforce, a full field of cars, which is going to make it interesting because of lap traffic. I feel pretty good about it. Yeah, that is true. I don't know. I just feel positive about it. I think it's gonna. I don't think it's gonna be a banger, but I do think it's gonna be a solid race. I think it's gonna be one of those races where, you know, people that are actual race fans will appreciate it, and then those that have low attention spans will probably dunk on it. Like if you got a lot of long green flag runs and stuff like that, I think those people will dunk on it. I think someone like me, I will appreciate it, but you know, so I think it's gonna be kind of divided if it does turn out to be one of those type of races, kind of like Phoenix from earlier this season. Like that race had mixed reviews from people. Wilkesboro is a good track, and I hope this race is solid to warrant it to stay in on the schedule. Yeah, I hope so as well. I know Dale Jr. is happy. It's crazy to see that North Wilkesboro is like fully back. Like it's hosting a points race for the first time since 1996. The year I was born. So it's crazy, man. Like just imagine telling somebody 10 years ago or even 6 years ago that this track will be back on the schedule. They'll look at you like you crazy. But yeah, it's back, and I want Rockingham to get this type of treatment next. I know that some bad news recently came out. I forgot the company that bought the track, but recently they went bankrupt or something like that. So Rockingham is looking kind of, you know, its future is looking kind of gloomy at the moment because of that. I will hope that SMI can purchase the track or something like that, so that way, you know, it can have that security. Now I get it, SMI did, you know, bought the track back in the mid 2000s, but they sold it off like around 2007, and then that was that. So I think if they buy the track again, they need to really like put a lot into it. But yeah, ever since that news came out about the people that owned Rockingham, like that kind of made Rockingham future kind of bleak at the moment. But yeah, so but enough about Rockingham. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to this weekend's race though, man. Like I think it's gonna be good. We got a tight points battle. Ryan Blaney is now in the points battle for the regular season championship. And this is something that I did not see coming. Like dead ass. Like I did not see this coming at all. With how the way Ford has been this year, and Toyota's been very dominant throughout this little summer stretch, pretty much all year, but especially during the summer. Ryan Blaney, I know his back is hurting because he is carrying Ford, and he's been carrying Ford for a while too, man. And they've been, I think the last 7 Ford wins or something like that has been by Ryan Blaney. So nobody else hasn't done shit over there. So I know they got a new body coming next year, according to what Brad Keselowski said, but man, I didn't think that Ford was gonna drop off this bad this year. Like Ryan Blaney is my championship pick. Was my championship pick coming into the season. I said that he was gonna win 6 races and he was gonna win the championship. And he's right there. But and imagine if he had if the car was actually good. Because right now, the only tracks that Ryan Blaney can rely on at the moment is short tracks. And it's a lot of those coming up before this regular season ends. So he could probably sneak up on Tyler Reddick and Denny Hamlin and win this regular season championship. He's only 65 markers back. So he's going to need Denny and Tyler to have one more. They're going to have like a bad race to really have him, to really give him a shot at it. Because you got North Wilkesboro this weekend. You got Iowa coming up. You got Richmond. You got it's another one in there. Is New Hampshire before the chase or during the chase? I think that's during the chase. Never mind. So you got like 3 short tracks that's coming up that's going to favor Ryan Blaney big time. So, it's all season. At first the narrative was Tyler Reddick is running away with it. Then Denny Hamlin throughout the summer has chopped into Reddick's lead, and now he's leading the points. And now you got Blaney. It looked like it was going to be a 2-horse race, and now Blaney is in it. Is in the championship battle now. So this is the beauty of just watching points. Watching the points battle throughout the season, and this is why that everybody was pretty happy for the most part that we got back to a system like this. I still wish it was it was no resets, but that's something I'm not going to complain about until the next TV contract is, this year's TV contract is coming to an end. Especially if we start to see some tomfoolery, but yeah, like that's the fight for the championship. The regular season, I can't even talk. The regular season points battle. That's the battle right there. Then you got the bubble. You got guys like, it's crazy to see William Byron is freaking 12th in points, man. That is insane. That's probably why he lost his mind at Atlanta over the weekend. I mean, he didn't lose his mind. That whole 24 team, they just you could tell they're irritated because they was barking at each other over the radio this past weekend, and Rudy Fugle telling him like, "Man, just shut up and drive the car," like and all that. But you know, the frustration is building though. So I wonder if Rick Hendrick is going to sit him down like how he did Jimmy and Chad Knaus from like the mid 2000s, and try to get them to jail to get along. But yeah, you can see that Austin Cindric is somehow staying in the chase. Shane Van Gisbergen, he had a good points day at Atlanta. He really needed that. I'm still kind of, I don't know. It's 50-50 if Shane is going to make the chase. Yes, he's gotten a lot better at the ovals. But I'm looking at guys like Logano is 17th, and it seems like that team is starting to turn the corner a little bit. Ryan Preece has kind of been up and down. Ross Chastain is he's kind of lurking. You can see him right there in 20th. He's lurking, man. And then you got who else is AJ Allmendinger was kind of flirting around the bubble, and then he had that bad day at Atlanta. So yeah, it's pretty tight. I'm starting to get a little worried about Bubba. I know that he got speed, but it's been one of those years where it's one of those years where he can't finish where he's running. He ran well at Atlanta, and only got one stage point, and then you know, of course, the yellow line rule, which I'll get into in a minute. But yeah, he got scored for 29th place finish, got spun in stage one, and just had a whole bunch of shit going on. And then, not to mention, it's just been a lot of stuff going on this year with Bubba. Just getting caught up in stuff, or just the team self-induced like mistakes. So they got to get it together. If they do make the chase, they got to get it together. If they want to make a run, which I don't see that team making a run. And they're showing the example of why. They're showing plenty of examples of why I don't think they're going to make a run. So Cito saying that SVG is going to make it and Logano misses it. I don't know. Like I said, like I'm going back and forth with it. I think Shane is going to make it, and it seemed like the momentum is on Logano's side. Well, I wouldn't say that, but it seemed like that. Like I said, Logano is kind of creeping up on it a little bit. Seems like it. And then, like I said, you got Ross Chastain coming back into the picture. I'm guessing that you saying that SVG might make it because he might run well at Daytona. It seemed like that he's getting better at these super speedways as well. I could see him running well at Richmond. You remember last year he had his own unique line at Richmond. He was running pretty good lap times. I know he was a lap down, but he figured that out like middle portion of the race, and then he was running some really good lap times. So I could see Richmond being another race where he runs well at and scores a pretty good chunk of points. And yeah, Trackhouse has they've been slowly improving. Yeah. Because like I said, like you got Ross Chastain coming into the picture. So yeah, the cut line, like the battle for the regular season title is interesting. And then you got that 4th through 7th range. That's kind of tight. They're saying that you need to be in the top 6 in order to have a shot at the championship. And I still think that's true. But I'm looking at guys like Chase Briscoe and Christopher Bell. They've been gaining a chunk of points lately, especially Chase Briscoe. Well, before Atlanta, he was gaining a lot of points. I think even if these two guys remain where they're at right now, which is ninth and 10th, I still think they can make a run. I still think they can make, because I think they'll be like what, plus 65 back. They'll be like 65 minus 65 back. I mean, 65 to 70 points back, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. 55. That's not too far back. That's the amount of points that Blaney is back right now. Like, Blaney can sniff it. If he goes out there and has another great points day in North Wilkesboro, especially if Denny and Tyler run mediocre, which I doubt it, he can continue to shave into that lead, especially if he wins a damn race, because winning gets you a lot of points now. So yeah, it's I feel like you can make a run from that far back. I want to talk about Atlanta. It was race of the year for me. The recent Atlanta race that just happened. I feel like it was race of the year, even with the delays. I don't see how you can walk away from that race and say that it wasn't a good race. I get that it's people that don't like pack racing. I don't like pack racing. I mean, I can appreciate it at times because it's a type of racing that keeps you super nervous and anxious, the entire time. I get the thrill of it, but that stage one, y'all, I was losing my fucking mind. And when it was that spread out, man, because I'm just thinking about Daytona races from 2010 on back before it got repaved. I mean, you got guys going to the bottom, going to the middle, going to the top. They said, fuck the draft. I'm going where my car performs the best at. You got Larson rim riding the wall, getting these big runs off the corners. You got Blaney had a fucking bullet. And that's another thing. Like, a car that had the speed, the handling, and then a driver that knows how to work the draft dominated the race and won. That's what I want to see at the Daytona 500. The Daytona 500 has been a joke for many years, and if they can get it back to where it races like that, if it races like Atlanta, it can start to be taken seriously again. Because that was some good ass shit. I mean, I know it's some people that didn't like stage one. They were saying the same thing regarding the Xfinity, in terms of the Xfinity race or the O'Reilly race. I mean, they were saying things like, "Man, this is not the Atlanta that I was hoping to see today." And you got Justin Allgaier and Sammy Smith out there alone, and it's not like that. Allgaier was trapped behind him. He got underneath him because Sammy Smith's car couldn't hold the bottom, and he got the stage win. And then stage 2 was pretty good, and then stage 3 was fucking stupid. I don't want to talk about stage 3. That last stage of that fucking race just ruined the race for me. I mean, that was embarrassing on the O'Reilly guys. Yep, Cup was awesome. O'Reilly was an embarrassment. That's a good summary of the weekend, pretty much. And then Lime Rock was like in the middle. Lime Rock was pretty solid. I'm so happy for Grant Enfinger, man. I'm a big fan of his. CR7 been off their game for a while, so glad that they got a dub. But yeah, it was a good ass Atlanta race though, man. Like I was really hoping that it would have stayed like that in stage 2 and 3 in terms of like the racing. But I even tweeted this out. I said that when it gets cooler out and these guys get a chance to work on their cars, it's going to become tighter, the pack, and it did. And then it was still strung out, but not extremely strung out to where, how it was during stage 1. So, but I enjoyed that entire race. Like, I think on Jeff Gluck's poll, I think it got like a 9, just at a 90 or something like that, 91. I think a 90, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it should have been rated higher than that. But you know how some people are, man. This race ended too late. I'm gonna vote no, or I didn't enjoy stage one because it was too spread out, or it may have come down to their favorite driver not running well. I could see a Larson fan. I didn't do it, but I could see a Larson fan voting no because Larson wrecked twice in that race, which pissed me off. I don't know what he was thinking. Like the first time when he spun, it wasn't his fault. It was a chain reaction in front of him, and he just got caught up in it. The second one, he just self-cleared himself, and finish him. He finished himself off, so that pissed me off. Because he was coming back up to the field pretty quickly after that first incident, but I don't know. Like, you got to get it together, and he did when it came to the dirt stuff. At least he won a high limit race the other night. About fucking time. I posted something on Twitter. I posted this video. This dude, this coach, he was yelling at yelling at his players. Like, what he said, he was like, "Get your shit together, man!" Like, like real talk, man. Like, get it together, man. He spun out like 3 weeks in a row. He spun out at Chicagoland. He self-cleared himself at Atlanta, and then he spun in one of his dirt races a couple of days ago before he won the high limit race the other night. Larson undercover curse. He was already kind of going through this little deal before he got announced to be undercover, but yeah, man, it's getting to a point where he's running out of opportunities to win. I don't see him winning at any super speedway. I don't see him winning at any short track. The mile and a half and the Brickyard 400 is like his last couple opportunities. Like, you got, I think, the Brickyard 400, Kansas in the fall, Charlotte in the fall, Homestead, Vegas. He probably got like 5 or 6 more opportunities, to win. If not, I think he's gonna go winless this year. So, but yeah, Blaney dominated that race. So he led like 170 something laps out of 267. It's a dominant performance, man. That dude, those fours, man. I wouldn't even say fours. It was just Blaney. He had a bullet. The other 2 Penske cars was up there at first, and then once they got in traffic, they couldn't really do anything else. Blaney was back in traffic. He was back in traffic at 1.2, but got back up there. So, yeah, he had a bullet. So, yeah, I so hope Larson wins soon, so all the anti-Larson fans can stop sarcastically saying best driver in the world every time he screws up. He never called himself the best in the world. Thank you. This is something that I'll be saying all the time. I just can't wait till he starts making these people's lives miserable again. People talked all that shit about the whole double fail last year, and then guess what? He won the championship, bitch. And then, they talking a lot of shit now. Hopefully he can start stacking some wins soon and make a run at this championship, and we can have the last lap again, just like last year when he won the title. So he's been catching a lot of strays, man. But I don't think he's the best driver in the world, and he don't think that either. Like, the media started that narrative about him, and that's why people say that shit, in a sarcastic way. Fastlane, what's up, man? How you been doing? I know it's been a long ass time. I was saying that at the beginning. It's been a long ass time since I've been active on YouTube. Got a video on the way finally, and I'm dead ass serious this time. Like, just wanted to check in with you guys and just let y'all know what's been going on and what's my thoughts about, like, a ton of topics, as you can as you saw in the thumbnail of what we discussing tonight. You didn't miss much so far. We 26 minutes into this. We talked about Atlanta. We wrapping up Atlanta. We talked about let me go back to it. We talked about the race to the chase, and that's pretty much it so far. What should we talk about next? It's a lot. I guess I'll cover the yellow line rule real quick, because that's another thing that that came up again. Bubba Wallace got DQ'd for going below the yellow line, and he didn't advance his position, but they still disqualify him anyway. And all I'm gonna say to that is that example 500 of why the yellow line rule needs to go away. I'm just, because 70% of the time they get the call wrong, while the other 30% of the time they'll actually get it right. It's been controversial ever since it came into play back in 2001. They're not consistent with it. If you're not going to be, if you're not going to be consistent with it and calling it the right way, I don't want it to be a thing. Especially if it's going to affect the finish of the race. That's where the frustration really gets to you, man. Like it's just, that's where the frustration just it's infuriating. So I don't really have too much to say about it. I disagree with the call. He didn't advance his position, but whatever. The Superspeedway package, actually, we could talk about that next. NASCAR made an announcement. Oh my god. Oh, there we go. NASCAR made an announcement not that long ago saying that they are going to change the rules package up finally. About fucking time. The rules, like, they've messed with the rules package at short tracks and road courses. They even messed with the rules package a little bit for the intermediate tracks, if I'm not mistaken. They haven't done a damn thing to the Superspeedway package. And we all saw how shitty it was, like, after year one. And for whatever reason, they just said, oh, well, the cars are packed up together and that looks good on TV, so we're going to just leave it alone. They actually said that at one point. Thankfully, there's been a lot of pushback from not just the fans, but it's been, pushback from the drivers. Christopher Bell has been very vocal about the Superspeedway package. Denny Hamlin, plenty of guys have been vocal about how shitty the Superspeedway package is with the Gen 7 car. So here we are all these years later into the Gen 7 car, and they finally done something about it. So better late than never. The spoiler is going to be reduced from 7 inches to 4. The horsepower is going to drop from like 515 or whatever to 465, which I think fans are reading too much into that. People got to remember that for many years, up until at least like 2018, when you went to a super speedway, the cars made about 400 horsepower anyway. Even during the glory days, when super speedway racing was at its peak, which was around like the early to mid 2000s, it was about, the cars were making about 400 horsepower. So I don't understand the rage of them announcing that they're going to lower the horsepower. I don't view that as a big deal. We want higher horsepower everywhere else, but the super speedways, I don't mind them taking away some of the horsepower. So according to them, it's still going to be the cars are going to be 3 miles per hour faster according to what their data said and all that, their sim and all that other shit. They're going to be making the same speed around, the same speed in the pack. But the main takeaway is taking downforce away, taking drag away. Thank God. These cars, we want these cars to race like the O'Reilly cars. The O'Reilly series package is so much better than the Cup Series package at the moment. Guys are afraid to make moves because if you do, you're going straight to the fucking back. It's just a fucking, not a train, but it's gridlock. Like once you come out of that, once you get done with your final green flag pit stop, whoever is first and second, those are the people that got a shot to win. So they had to do something about that, and I give them props for trying something. So I don't think this is going to make a dramatic difference, but I do think it's a step in the right direction. I do think we're going to see a difference in the racing. Now, here's the negative. It don't have anything to do with the rules package. It's more so no practice. We are getting no fucking practice for a new aerodynamic package. These guys are going to be pretty much testing this package out during the first half of the race. A cutoff race, by the way. The race before the chase to see who's going to get in. And we get no practice. And this is not a NASCAR decision. This is a team decision. This is an RTA decision. This is why I hate the RTA. Because they're claiming that, no practice means that, it's cost cutting. It's a cost cutting move. So I just don't understand, man. Like it's such a dumb call. Like you couldn't get them at least like 20 minutes where everybody can just go on the track for 20 minutes and just fill out the package. They can fill out the aero package. 20 minutes wouldn't kill you. Like, 20 minutes was too much. So that's where I'm pissed off at. That's the thing that pissed me off, is just no practice. I could see somebody losing it on their own. These guys are going to have less downforce. And, they're going to be on a hot Daytona track that's losing a lot of grip. Like I could see somebody on the cut line just losing it because they don't have experience with this aero package. So pretty stupid on NASCAR's, not on NASCAR, but on the team's part for not wanting, practice. Because this is a RTA decision. It's not NASCAR. So blame the RTA for not wanting these guys, for not wanting practice at the end of the day. It's just, I just don't understand, man. No practice with a new package is a disaster waiting to happen. Exactly. Let's see. I'm just holding my breath and hoping for the best come Daytona. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure a lot of the guys in the field are going to be doing the same thing, having no experience with that package. Not giving these guys practice at Daytona is stupid. It's like throwing your child into a pool and expecting them to know how to swim. Yeah, I get it. These guys are professionals, but still, man, like, they do make themselves look stupid at times, also. I just don't understand it, man. Like, it's just, it's It's not something I would have done. So yeah, I'm just happy though that they're doing something about it, and hopefully these guys can slice and dice. And if this aero package turns out to be pretty good at Daytona, I hope that they run it at Talladega. Hopefully they don't mind running it at Talladega. I mean, you're running this aero package, on a cutoff race, so might as well just do it in the chase as well. So yeah, like I hope they run it, and then not to mention continue to make more strides. Like maybe you can remove some more drag in these cars. Like maybe you can remove the underbody or something like that, or maybe take some more spoiler away. Stuff like that. Cause they said they was gonna do some winter testing at Daytona to test out some more things. So but yeah, this is a step in the right direction. I do think we're gonna see a difference. And yeah, hopefully this doesn't end up being a disappointment at the end of the day. So yeah, cost cutting indeed, like running no practice of super speedways and having unlimited overtimes, resulting in like 20 wrecked cars, definitely counts as cost cutting in their book. Yeah, that's the thing that's so like odd about this whole cost cutting era that we in. You adding super speedways and you're doing stuff that's going against that, and I just don't understand it. So I still don't understand why practice is say I don't see how that's saving teams money. I don't fully believe it. Brad Keselowski, I think he's like one of the only team owners that's vouching for more practice, and which is interesting. So I said it before. I think everybody would be fine if they just give these guys 1 hour of practice. I don't care. And people are going to bring up, well, you can't do anything with this car like how you could with the old cars. I don't care. Like, it's still practice for, guys, the drivers to try things and, behind the wheel. And, if it's fans at the track, they're seeing cars on track. They're getting a bang for their buck. If you're there for 3 days throughout the weekend and you only seeing cars on the track for only 2 out of the 3 days, you're kind of getting gypped. Or especially 1 day. But typically you're seeing on-track activity for 2 days now. It used to be 3 days. So all we're asking for is just like, we're not asking for three practice sessions and all this other stuff. They need to open it back up in general, man. I think that they should bring testing back I think rookies should be allowed to test. I think rookies should be allowed to test so they can, get them at least like 3 test session days throughout the year. I know Connor Zillage would like that after the year he's been having. But we need to get over these COVID rules and just go back to what they not exactly go back to what they had previously, but just an hour of practice wouldn't kill anybody. Plus having practice might actually raise the driving standards, since drivers will actually know how their cars drive and won't do dumb shit like we see in races sometimes in the past 5 years. Exactly. Because it's insane that they don't have practice for Atlanta. That's why I thought, like, as much as I enjoy stage 1 at Atlanta, I think if they would have had like 25 minutes of practice or 30 minutes or whatever, just had some practice time in general for Atlanta this past weekend, those guys probably would have been a little bit more tighter in the pack because guys would have had their cars driving well. Oh, I still think it would have got strung out, but not that strong out. You got guys. There was some guys that was going a lap down in that stage, which was insane. You had like, I think the entire front row team went a lap down. It was some other people. It was kind of crazy, but yeah, like it didn't. Not to mention, sometimes these guys be having like heart style loose and stuff like that, and that stuff you can, diagnose and practice stuff that you can get fixed. So I be feeling bad for, like, I think Jeb Burton had an issue in the O'Reilly race, and he couldn't even make a lap. Like, I just don't understand, man. Like, yeah, cost cutting my ass. Like, I think it's bullshit at the end of the day. So, um, but yeah, I'm just not a fan of not a fan of the no practice deal, but I am a fan of the rule change. And hopefully we see a good race in a couple weeks at Daytona. It's gonna be hot. They're gonna have less downforce, less drag. So we might see these guys fighting their cars and and getting a little bit strung out, just a little bit. Let's talk about Carson Hocevar. Let's talk about Carson Hocevar. The main character in NASCAR. So it's a lot of people that like him. It's a lot of people that don't like him. I like Carson Hocevar. Like, when I went to Chicagoland this past week, or not this past week, but a couple weeks ago, I bought a shirt of his. Bought some Carson Hocevar merch. My only criticism of his is that just control your aggression. I think he is a little out of control, and if he can just harness it. Like, I'm not saying stop being aggressive, because I said the same thing about Ross Chastain when he had his old like aggressive arc going on a couple years ago. Just back it off by 10% and you good. Just control it better. Like, I like aggressive drivers. One of my favorite drivers, like my favorite driver is aggressive. Like, you just got to control it, man. And aggressive drivers are going to make mistakes anyway because they're on the ragged edge. But I feel like Carson Hocevar is way above that edge. But that's my only criticism when it comes to Carson Hocevar. Other than that, this dude is fucking good for the sport, man. Nobody else isn't getting invited to Met Galas. He just took a picture with LeBron James, and according to him, LeBron knew who he was prior to them meeting up. You got this dude, like, he's generating buzz. Like, his merch is going off the shelf. Like, he's breaking records when it comes to like merchandise and shit. Like when he won Talladega, I think that was like the most I think that was like the quickest like a car sold out or something like that. I forgot, but he's just a breath of fresh air. He welcomes the chaos. He's not backing down. It's like everybody wants him. Like, you can criticize his driving, but don't try to have him fall in line with everybody else. We need somebody to stick out in this sport. And Hocevar is doing exactly that. Like, I don't want him to fall in line. So I hope he continues to be like, control your aggressiveness a little bit more, but other than that, continue to be the same. Talk shit. This dude is beefing with he's beefing with Corey Haim. Zane Smith got some beef with him apparently. I think him and Denny Hamlin are gonna clash soon. You can find a little bit more speed in their race cars. Oh boy, man, we're gonna see some more fireworks, man. Like, Like this dude gets people excited. Like a lot of people said that they came back and started watching NASCAR because of this dude. So oh shit. I don't know if y'all saw that. The damn protection went out. Oh, it's been out for a while, but yeah, like it's that just threw me off guard. But yeah, like that, like he's great for the sport, man. Like he just needs to start winning more races too. Like if he can become a guy that can start winning 2 to 3 races a year, at least, that's enough to where he's going to be a superstar. Dale Jr. was a superstar throughout his whole career, and he wasn't the most dominant guy. But I think that if he would have became dominant, he would have made himself even a bigger household name. But yeah, Hocevar, like I just hope that Spire can find that little bit extra speed. Cause they've been about like an 8th to 10th place car throughout the year. Talk about the 77 for the most part. They've been around that 8th to 10th range. They qualify well. They just and then they fall back into that back half of the top 10. So yeah, like if he can start winning races on top of this, and he's backing it up, man, that's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. He's the personality that NASCAR needed. Exactly. Facts. Carson Hocevar versus everyone. I think it's jealousy, man. Like I think that's another thing I was meant to say. Like I think that some of these guys are jealous of Carson Hocevar. I think that it's guys out there that's going out there being successful and they're not getting the outside attention that Carson Hocevar is getting. Like I said, he's getting invited to the Met Gala. But he's also putting himself out there. He's not being robotic and being political and shit. Like he's collabing with streamers and he streams himself. He don't give a fuck. He's not like, and then I appreciate Spire just letting him be him. They don't got him on a leash or anything like that. Like I bet you if he was at Penske or Hendrick or even Joe Gibbs, well, I wouldn't even say Joe Gibbs because Gibbs, they let Kyle Busch, be Kyle Busch. May he rest in peace. They let Gibbs, he lets Denny be Denny. So, but I bet you if he was driving for Hendrick and Penske, which are like the 2 most corporate teams in NASCAR, they would have told him a long time ago, like, man, like we need you to stop and blah 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 and stuff like that. Spire, they saying, man, like fuck it, like you can go out there and say whatever the hell you want. Not say whatever the hell he want, but he stir the pot. Go ahead and stir the pot. And they allow him to do it. So I appreciate Spire for letting him be him. So he just needs to win more races and just control his aggressiveness. And if he does that, his future is going to be even brighter. So, yeah, I just don't want him to change. Some fans complain that drivers don't have personality, and when one does show personality, they hate them. Exactly, man. It's NASCAR fans are so confusing at times. Like you said, the same guys that complain about guys not having personality want to sit there and then hate on someone like Carson Hocevar. It's ass backwards. Like, what do you want? Like NASCAR fans, they're so, what I'm trying to say, like indecisive. Like guys like Kyle Busch was hated for so many years, and Denny Hamlin is hated. Darrell Waltrip during his prime was hated because they were like they were huge personalities. And then when these guys start to slow down in their career, that's when they want to sit there and hop on their dick and be like, oh, like I hope they win now because they're not winning as much, and all this other shit. It's just like, come on, man. Like you didn't appreciate this dude doing his prime, and or they'll start to appreciate that person if they start to back it down. Like his Brad Keselowski, he's not as brash as he used to be. He's calmed down. He's still outspoken. He's still, he give you some, quotes sometimes. But if you look at Brad Keselowski from that 2009 to about like 2015 period, that dude he was something else, man. Hocevar reminds me of him, but times 5, times 5, man. But yeah, like, just accept him, man. Like, ironic how Zane Smith trashed on Hocevar last week, and then at Atlanta, Zane wrecked on the last lap while Hocevar finished third. And see, that's the thing. Like, if Hocevar is going out there and backing the shit up that he talked, that's just gonna make him look even cooler. And then I don't got anything against Zane Smith. I think he's pretty boring. Like, he sounds like he's sleepy all the time, just super monotone, and really nothing interesting about him. I think he's talented, but I don't think he's not really exciting. It's just, I don't know if he just started saying stuff like this just to kind of get his name out there, because I don't want to sit there and say because they're not talking about him, because he is like the best FRM driver at the moment, but maybe it's genuine though. Maybe he genuinely does hate Hocevar. It did kind of come out of nowhere though, because Jeff Gluck was talking about that. It came out of nowhere for sure. Fans need to make up their mind when it comes to NASCAR personality. Exactly. I got a personalities video coming out. That's the video that's coming sooner than later, by the way, where I give my rankings of every 2026 NASCAR driver when it comes to their personalities. So I basically got it set to where like it's I don't want to spoil it. But it's like 5 tiers though. I mean, I don't want to spoil it. Not to mention, he was running near the top 15 in his first start at Gateway before his brake rotor blew. That's when I knew that Hocevar was Cup caliber, man. When I saw that performance at Gateway a couple years back, that was when he outperformed Corey LaJoie, who was in a Hendrick car, and I was just kind of looking like, yeah, this dude. It told me that day that LaJoie is not that great at all, and then Carson Hocevar is very good. So yeah, so or it told me that Corey LaJoie is not really a Cup caliber driver, at least. I think he's like a truck caliber driver at least, but yeah. I definitely think there's a level of jealousy towards Carson Hocevar in a similar way that Rusty Wallace was so jealous of Jeff Gordon in the 90s. That's a good point. You know what? Because that's something that I actually did a video on that. But not to mention, like, it was noticeable though. Like, Rusty Wallace, he was the guy, and he even talked about it. Like, Jeff Gordon and him was supposed to be like, not Jeff Gordon. Him and Dale Earnhardt was supposed to be the guys that were supposed to dominate the 90s, and then Jeff Gordon came on the scene, a couple years into the 90s, and just stole everybody's thunder. He dominated. And I think that Dale Earnhardt didn't seem like he held a grudge. He actually kind of played into it. But you can tell there was like genuine jealousy out of Rusty, because he felt like that Gordon just took the spotlight off of him. Rusty was still good. He was still competing for the championship and all that, and getting some wins, but he wasn't winning like how he was in the early 90s, where he was winning like 8 to 10 races. But once Gordon came in, I think that's when the jealousy, he was kind of looking off from a distance. Gordon celebrating in victory lane, he just kind of looking like, damn. I'm imagining that NASCAR 06 trailer that never saw the light of day until like a couple years ago, where they had Jeff Gordon fist balled up, and he was about to like he was about to kill Ryan Newman. Oh, that's what I'm thinking about. But yeah, it's jealousy though. Like I think that's what a lot of drivers are. I think they're jealous across the Hocevar. Like I think they know they can beat him on the track, but I just think that they want that glory that Hocevar is getting from the outside bubble. And you know, it's been a long time since we've seen somebody that can attract that outside audience. Like we've been wanting that. So if you know, I want what's best for NASCAR. You know, I haven't forgotten about the right hooks that Hocevar was doing, you know, back when he was in the truck series and shit. You know, that when he was doing that shit, I was kind of like, dude, you gotta clean that up, man, because I don't appreciate that. Like I was critical of him. And I still am, but I don't think it's as serious as a lot of people are making it out to be. He's not right hooking people no more. He's pretty much being like Ross Chastain from a couple years ago. And I just think that he just needs to harness his aggression. And once he does, I feel like he's going to take off. So fuck all that shit about, oh, he needs to fall in line and you know, and just be like everybody else. No. I used to not like Keselowski, especially during the 2014 season, but he's mature and they were the same way about Kurt Busch. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Keselowski was fun. He was fun to follow, man. Like, it was just, I don't know, he was a menace, man. Like, that thumbnail that LE Productions made of him pretty much fending off everybody. Like that was, you know, that's pretty much what it was for Keselowski around that time. But yeah, you met Kurt Busch as well. NASCAR fans complain about the Toyota dominating, but Chevy had the most wins since 2021. Yeah, the Toyota hatred is pretty strong. Has always been strong in NASCAR. I think it's going to remain like that as long as Toyota's continue to be in the sport. But now that Toyota has the most wins, people want to complain. Like I said, it's just it's funny. The people that hate Toyota, they think that, you know, their cars are produced in the US. That's the funny thing. But I don't know. They just, I don't know. The people who are complaining about Toyota dominating this year are the same people that didn't say crap when HMS dominated 2021. It was some chatter. Trust me, it was some chatter about HMS as well. Not to this extent, but it was like a lot of like, you know, goddamn, you know, Hendrick cheating and all that. They gotten, you know, the cheating comments as well. I mean, people were saying, even before Hamlin took off, and I know Tyler Reddick is a Toyota driver, but I mean, Tyler Reddick is a likable guy, and they were like slamming him, you know, 10 races into the season because he was dominating. Like, people just hate dominance in general. Look at Alex Palou. People be hating on him because he's dominating. It happened in F1 with Max Verstappen. It happened, you know, it always happens. Like Jeff Gordon in the 90s, Jimmy Johnson in the 2000s, Evan Harvick in the early to in the, you know, mid to late 2010s. You know, people just hate dominance, man. Like, that's just how it is. I've learned to, you know, for many years, learn to respect it and just tip your hat at the end of the day instead of just putting on the tinfoil hat and just being like, NASCAR is paying them, and, you know, or they're paying NASCAR to, you know, get this huge advantage and all this other shit. People don't realize how stupid they sound when they say shit like that, and they be dead ass serious. It's not like they're playing around. They be dead ass serious. Earnhardt respected the hell out of Gordon. Yep, and that's the difference. That's the difference between Rusty and Dale Earnhardt. Like Rusty didn't respect Jeff Gordon. Dale Earnhardt did, because it's not like that Earnhardt and Gordon was racing each other clean on the track. Like they were trading paint, but Earnhardt, he leaned into it. He leaned into the rivalry. Meanwhile, Rusty, he wanted to be the guy, and just didn't happen. But I guess to put a cap on the Carson Hocevar talk, don't change, never change. If I was Carson Hocevar, I'll pull up Spotify and pull up Jay-Z and play Never Change. Like, don't change, dude. Like, please. It's interesting. He's making NASCAR interesting. So, Inspired, like I said, Inspired needs to make sure their cars get better. So, let's jump into let's talk about Dodge. Let's talk about Dodge, man. There's been a lot of chatter about Dodge, and it's not slowing down. Dodge is going to come back next year. They're going to come back next year. And yeah, they may be ass during their first year, but they're going to be back. And I think they're going to be better prepared for the Cup Series compared to their truck program. And I do think their truck program is going to get better next year. Especially once they get a lot of stuff built up and all that. Get some more hires and all that stuff. Their drivers, if they keep the same driver roster, they'll have a second year under their belt. Or, well, Justin Haley got a lot of experience, but talk about guys like Brandon Queen and Vinny Tyrell and, Corey LaJoie got a lot of experience as well. I think they should stick with that driving lineup. I think a lot of those guys are capable of running up front if they just had the equipment underneath them. So, but yeah, Dodge to Cup next year, man. It's been so much talk about it. You got the big report was Jordan Bianchi saying that it's more than likely that Dodge will be back in 2027. They've made some major gains on the engine side of things, which is the huge hurdle that you got to get over. Dale Jr. believes that NASCAR will be back in 2027 with just Kaulig. Now, here's the thing that's interesting, or that could be interesting. I could see Dodge not just having Kaulig, but they're not going to have any other major team. Their Trackhouse is not going to join them. RCR is not going to join them. No other team, no major team is going to join them. I could see a single car organization joining them. I could see like a Hayek or a Brickware Racing car or a team, I should say, joining Dodge, and you may have like 3 or 4 Dodges out there. So it won't just be 2. I could see that. But yeah, it's looking really likely that they're gonna come into the sport next year. And the big hurdle for a while was the engine side of things. And I think NASCAR is holding their hand during this process. I think they're trying to, because NASCAR is so desperate to get a manufacturer into the sport. If the new manufacturer comes into the sport, that's more money getting poured into the sport. That's, is making the sport healthier. So I think they're gonna give Dodge a lot of leeway, and whichever manufacturer decides to come in next. If I don't think Honda's coming in, because they seem like they're good, with IndyCar, but whoever comes in, down the road, I think they're going to be willing to hold their hand and be like, look, we'll help you with this process. because we want to have you in the sport. So, yeah, I think it's pretty likely. I could see them. I think a reveal is going to be soon. I think the body and everything like that is going to be revealed either at Daytona or sometime during the chase. I could see them probably doing it at Daytona. I think that's doing it at Daytona will make a lot of sense because you had the World Center of Racing and stuff like that. So, oh shit. Good evening, Mr. Precision. What's up, JC? Don't worry, I haven't talked about my Chicagoland experience yet. I'm going to get to that. We talked about Atlanta. We talked about, I don't know how long. I don't know if you just not commenting or you just actually joined the stream, but yeah, we talked about Atlanta. We talked about Carson Hocevar. We talked about the Superspeedway package, the race to the chase. We actually got one more topic after this. Actually, two more topics. And so yeah, I'm talking about we're discussing Dodge at the moment. What I was saying though, but yeah, I think that they might do the reveal at Daytona, and there's people saying that like they're jumping the gun on getting to the Cup Series. Will they run like ass next year if they do join the Cup Series in 2027? Most likely, yes. But I don't mind. Like, I don't mind them joining. Go ahead and get your feet wet. And go ahead and get your feet wet and just get a feel for the Cup Series. Start building that notebook. I think if they was to join in 2028, they would still be ass. So you might as well just go in there, just start building and building and who knows? They might end up surprising themselves. They might end up doing better than expected. Like I said, I do think it's more preparation going into diving into Cup than what they did for their truck program. So and like I said, I think their Ram program is going to go in a better direction going forward. So they just gotta just go ahead and make the jump. Like, I'm not against it. So now if they're 2-3 years into the game and into the Cup Series and they still haven't done shit, yeah, that's when it's going to start getting kind of worrisome. But if they can be improving every year, like you saw what Toyota did in 2007, they were ass, but they're going to have to get a team, because I ain't gonna lie, like Colic, especially if their driver roster, like Adrian Allmendinger, I got faith in him, even though he's getting older. But you got to get somebody else, man. Like Ty Dillon, I like Ty Dillon, but I don't think he's gonna do anything. You can bring Justin Haley back up. Hell, you can bring Corey LaJoie up. Well, never mind. I don't know. They gotta get somebody that's pretty good, man. But I would like to see, like, let's just say Dodge comes in 2027 with Colic. Okay, you get that first year, growing pains and stuff. 2028, you go after a Colic, you go after a RCR, you go after one of those big teams, kind of like what Toyota did in 2008. And you saw how that played out. They became a juggernaut in the Cup Series. So I think that's what they should do. But obviously they're going to put in the effort. I'm talking about Dodge, but they gotta go after a big team and try to have a more established team on the grid. Because Colic, I can't take Colic fully serious for whatever reason. I just can't, man. Like Trackhouse to Dodge though, I can take seriously. Honda Zillage, SVG, and Ross Chastain behind Dodges. Oh my god, that would be fucking cold. But you know what? Parker Resloff in a Colic Dodge, man, that's a hell of a jump though, man. Well, is it? Okay, he's been in our Raleigh series for a couple of years. I'll take the chance. I will take the chance. You know, Fastlane, I will go with that. That's not a bad idea. I don't think that would be as bad as it sounds, I guess. Um, AJ Allmendinger and Parker Resloff, teammates in 2027. But it's not gonna happen though, because it seemed like that Parker Resloff has a Legacy Motor Club development deal. And who knows? He might be John Hunter Nemechek's replacement, probably. Or because he's not. We know Riley Hurst is going to that third Legacy Motor Club car. So yeah. I heard that Legacy just re-up with Toyota, according to what some people were saying. So I don't think they're going to go to Dodge, because I was saying for a long time that they could go to Dodge, but they just re-upped with Toyota. Legacy, they're building their own stuff, and it seems like it's starting to finally pay off now. You got Eric Jones that's hovering around that bubble now. If they wanted to, they can get that alliance with JGR, but I think they have a fear of doing that, because look what happened to Furniture Row. And then Joe Gibbs jacked the price up, and they couldn't, they had to shut down because they, couldn't afford it. So that whole deal happened. So I just think that they're trying to do their own, build their own stuff. And after many years of being on an island alone, it seems like it's paying off. So if Dodge does make the jump to the Cup Series, what car would they use? The Charger or the Challenger? I'm hearing the Charger. I'm hearing that they would be using Chargers. So which would be a surprise, because they were supposed to, they've always ran Chargers for the most part. Ever since the Charger came into the fray, when they were running Dodges in the Cup Series, they was going to run a Charger in the Gen 6 era as well, until they the whole thing fell apart. And that's, that'd be kind of fucked up if they be like, if they do this reveal again, they reveal their car at Daytona, and then I don't know, Colin backs out of it. That'd be so messed up. But yeah. No, they ran Chargers in 2011 and 2012. They ran that was a Charger. Hold on real quick. Hold on. I hope I'm not tweaking. I'm trying to look it up real quick. Yeah, it was the Charger. Yeah. Oh, pull up. Give me 1 second. Yeah, so I can. Yep. Yeah, they ran Chargers in the Cup Series. Yeah, Nationwide ran Challengers, and the Cup Series used the Chargers. So yeah, I knew I wasn't tweaking. I'm like, wait a minute, no, they couldn't have ran a Challenger. Um, yeah, they ran Chargers. They've been running the Chargers since like what? Oh, they ran the Avenger in like '07 or something like that. And then I think they switched to the Charger like in late COT era or early. It was like 2010 or 2011. But yeah, like the last time they were on the grid was a Charger though. So by the way, that thing looked fucking beautiful. That thing looked fucking badass. But yeah. It's all good. Because I was trying to make sure that I wasn't, that I just wanted to double check just in case. Because I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't sound right. But yeah. Um, but yeah, Dodge, man, like I'm gonna be excited when they announce it, and they're gonna be here. They're gonna be in here for real this time. They're not gonna back out of it. Colleagues seem like they're pretty committed. Dodge seem like they're pretty committed to coming in. So I think it's gonna go. Like I said, that first year is gonna be rough. But like I said, just get your feet wet and see how it goes, man. And just like I said, try to snag up a big team in 2028. I've been watching Caleb's stream Portland thing for a bit. Man, you know what? Was it? I guess we can transition to this now, since you said that. Was it? Oh my god, was it at? I got so many fucking tabs open. So NASCAR 26. I think the last time I talked about this game was when I was pretty much hoping for stuff in a video. That was actually my last video I put out. It's a wish list video. And so far we really haven't gotten anything. It's been pretty much we got the cover reveal, which is not too big of a deal. Kyle Larson's on the front cover. It's a nice looking cover. I'm not saying that because it's my favorite driver. It's a cool looking cover in general. You can put Logano on it. You can put Zelich, SVG, Hamlin, whoever on the front cover. Just how the way it's designed, it looks pretty dope. But yeah, like it's, and then they revealed the soundtrack, which is something else that's not too big of a deal. I mean, I care about it, but not like I care about, obviously the game itself. And then today they revealed the track list, the tracks in the game. And whoop-de-doo, y'all got all the official tracks in the game. What's disappointing is that you can't race any series at any car at any track. So for example, I can't take a cup car to Rockingham. You can't take the trucks to Indianapolis Motor Speedway. You can't take the Raleigh series to North Wilkesboro. So that's disappointing. We also don't have the standalone tracks again when it comes to the ARCA series. So, and I get it. We don't have, a lot of those tracks like Salem and Toledo and all them. And, a lot of those tracks are not laser scanned into iRacing. So they, but it was a good chance they wasn't gonna make it into the game. But what they could have done is that they could have made it to where they could have made fantasy versions of those tracks and just gave it a bootleg name. Like, I don't know, Sunset Speedway or whatever. They could have made a fantasy version of Salem and just gave it a different name. So the only track that's missing, and JC just brought it up, is that Bowman Gray's not in the game, which means that the Clash is not in the game. So that pretty much confirms that. I'm not tripping too much about that though. But yeah, like, it's just, so far there hasn't been a future, or it hasn't been anything that's been shown off about NASCAR 26 that's knocked my socks off so far. Like, that's have my jaw leaving, that's had my jaw like on the ground pretty much. Crossplay has been confirmed, and that's cool. I get to participate in Stream Card next season because of that. And I can, somebody can finally challenge Gary on in that league, because he be whooping their ass in that league. Just from what I be seeing, I don't watch every week, but when I do be watching their streams, like, if he's not first, he's either second or third. I feel like I can challenge him. I'm very competitive. So, yeah, I feel like I can finally do that and have fun with those guys, at the end of the day. And then burnouts are confirmed in the game. And it's like, I get it, man. Like, people want to celebrate after they win, but it's not a big fucking deal at the end of the day when you think about it. I could have won another game or two without burnouts, honestly. It's cool that it's in the game, and I hope that they take it to the next level. Like I said in my wish list video, and have it to where you can burn it down for like 30 seconds while everybody watches. The people you just beat online, they watch you burn it down for 30 seconds, pretty much giving them the middle finger, like, yeah, motherfucker, I just beat you. But those are not features that make me amped up for the game. It doesn't get me amped up for the game. Now, I get it. They still got, a month and a half to reveal some stuff, and I just wish they would hurry up and reveal whatever they got to fucking reveal. I gotta think that it's gonna be some big additions to this game. So, yeah, you was telling me that you like the soundtrack. I think it's a step down from NASCAR 25 just slightly, but I think it's still a good soundtrack overall. A lot of those songs, just like with NASCAR 25, a lot of those songs I never heard of. I gave it 2 spins, and I like a lot of the songs. And if it's a song that you don't like, or a couple of songs you don't like in the game, you can mute them, because that's another feature that's going to be in the game. You can actually disable songs, which is nothing, new, because you can do that in the old NASCAR games, if you wanted to. But why would you want to mute any song from those games? I mean, every fucking song in those games were cold as hell. Imagine muting fucking Action and Tear It Up from NASCAR Thunder 2004, or Hold Down or whatever. Like, you'd be out of your fucking mind. Or, muting Not Listening by Papa Roach. Like, I would want to fight somebody. But yeah, the soundtrack is pretty good in my opinion. Like, by the way, what's up, Kid Laden? What's happening, yo? I'm not even. When I get on a tangent, I just stop paying attention to. I be looking away from my computer screen. But yeah, it's a good soundtrack though, in my opinion. Some people were mad that they had Sweet Home Alabama in the game, and it's like, I don't mind them doing this thing where it's one nostalgic song in in a modern day NASCAR game. Like last year, it was Flirting with Disaster. This year is Sweet Home Alabama. I hope next year they add the rock and roll version of Get Out of My Dreams, Get Into My Car from NASCAR Thunder 2003. That song is so fucking good. That version of the song. I mean, I like the OG song as well, but that version of the song sounds so good. But yeah, it's a lot of these groups though. I can find. I've heard of Papa Roach. I've heard of Chevelle. Other than that, I haven't heard of anybody else. But yeah, a lot of these songs are pretty good though. So it's funny as hell that they got DMX in the fucking NASCAR game. Like that shit is wild to me, yo. Like imagine telling somebody that. Like if I was like, I know some people that they not into NASCAR, but they think that it's like it's country music and all that. Like no, like they they got DMX in the game, man. Like which is funny as hell. So they got T.I. in the game. So I'm a huge hip hop and rock and roll fan. Those like my two favorite genres. So yeah. But yeah, like it's just I'm reading out comments. Chicagoland, San Diego, St. Petersburg is added, and I'm excited to drive on those tracks. Like, Chicagoland is actually gonna be one of the first tracks I'm gonna do when I get the game. Hometown, it just makes sense. I'm gonna do me like a 50. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna do a 50% race. Probably do like a 25% race at Chicagoland just to fill out, that track. San Diego's gonna be a mess online. A lot of people are going to Austin Hill it. Austin Hill / Sam Mayer it going into turn one, and it's gonna be a huge pile up. And if they don't do that, it's gonna be a big pile up going into that first turn where you pretty much like catching some air right before that turn. That's gonna be fun too. You gonna be catching the air and shit, man. Like going to that first turn. That shit gonna be cold. But yeah, it's gonna be a mess online. St. Petersburg is gonna be a mess. I'm just picturing, just like with the Chicago Street Course last year on NASCAR 25. Like it's gonna be like that on those road courses too, boy. It's gonna be pretty bad. I prefer not knowing most of the songs when the game comes out. Sweet Home Alabama made me shake my head. Third NASCAR game to have this song. NASCAR Thunder 2002. NASCAR 26. What's the third game? I know. That was literally like the only song in NASCAR 2002. By the way, so I can understand like if you play hours and hours of NASCAR Thunder 2002. I know after a while that song had to get irritating because you just like, man, it's literally the only fucking song in the game. That's wild to do that, yo. To have just one song in the game. Oh, Ignition had it. You know what's crazy? I don't know any of the songs from Ignition because I stopped giving a fuck about the game once it came out. Like once it came out, I was just like, yeah, I fuck this game. Like I don't care anything. I just stopped paying attention to it. I will never forget that night. Me, my brother, and one of our friends we were in the party. We were in the party, and we was watching people stream NASCAR Ignition. Like it was release night, and we was watching people streams, and I'm just looking like, yo, what the fuck is wrong with this game? And we were just, it was so bad it became funny, and then we were just like, yep, the streak continues of bad NASCAR games, and we were just um yeah, it was bad. So yeah, so y'all saying ignition, yeah, okay. Uh Reggie, hope I'm saying that right. I'm so bad with names, man. Hey dude, just dropping in and say hi. To say I love your passion for the sport, your videos and tweets. You doing what you're doing. Hey, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. My apologies for being kind of MIA on YouTube. I just been trying to enjoy the summer, and been going to racetracks and stuff, and about to go to Indy and Indy next week. Just came from Chicagoland. I'm getting ready to talk about Chicagoland before y'all disappear. I don't know how much longer y'all can stick around. I'm trying not to make this too long. But yeah, I appreciate that so much. Like, when y'all send comments like that, that means so much to me, because I'm a nobody at the end of the day. I just give my opinion. I am very passionate about the sport. I love the sport. I've been watching since 2001, so appreciate it though, man. I really appreciate it. Oh yeah, so yeah, it's I can talk about my Chicagoland experience. Man, first of all, I got to meet JC. I gotta bring that up first. JC. So I'm about to be a little blunt right here. So JC, I knew. So let me back up for a sec. So I knew that it was gonna be some NASCAR YouTubers there. Iceberg, Danny B, I think even Eric. But I was on YouTube, and I knew JC was coming. But Slap Shoes was there, Breakhard was there, fucking KG Prestige was there. Kamikaze Games was, I said KG Prestige. Kamikaze Games was there. It was insane. Like, I didn't get to meet any of these guys except for JC, and I was happy with that. Like, I was happy with to at least meet one of y'all. Like, I was hoping to meet somebody, and JC made the effort, because my seats was way at the top. I was sitting near turn one, and I think I was texting back and forth with him, and I was like, yeah, like, I just sat down. I was like, hopefully I can still see y'all before, it ends and stuff like that. This dude came all the way over from his seats, because he was sitting like around like the start finish line, if I'm not mistaken. Came by, me and my brother and our friend, we were just kind of sitting there. He came up there, and yeah, JC is in shape, because you said that you went that up and down those stairs like 6 times. I'm like, dude, you are insane, man. Like, I couldn't do it, man. Like, once I was seated, man, I was seated. Not to mention, when I left the racetrack, I wasn't feeling too great. I had like a headache, and even if I wanted to see y'all again, like, I just couldn't, because I was not feeling great. I had a slight headache, and I had like some other issues. So yeah, Iceberg was there. We were supposed to meet up. I wish I would have. Yeah, so they all met up at the Tweet Up. It was really crowded. Wish I would have got there earlier, man, because I guess the Tweet Up was like around like 1. I didn't get to the track until like 2, or like near 2. So it would have been cool to meet up with y'all, because me, my brother, and our friend, we were doing like a bunch of activities and buying merch and all that, and just doing the pre-race activity stuff that they be having on display. And like we was on simulators and stuff like that. So and then like an hour before the race, we started to like get our food. Like when 4 o'clock, the race started at 5, like 5 p.m. Central. At 4, we went to start getting our food because the lines were like long as hell. Like I got me some Little Caesars out of the, and that fucking line I was standing there for like almost 30 minutes, man. And then once we got our food, that took like 30 minutes right there. And then that's why, like, when JC told me, like, when you told me that, y'all was like over at y'all section, it was some free seats available. I was like, you text that like right after I climbed all those stairs, and I was like, I don't know, man. Like, I want to go over there, but like it was just so bad. Oh shit. Me and KG actually went looking for you for an hour. Oh man. Y'all making me feel bad, man. It would have been cool to meet. I'm glad I met you. It would have been cool to meet Kamikaze as well. Like, damn. I feel bad, man. I should have been I couldn't connect to shit. That was another thing. Like, the reception was pretty bad. The track, like, that's, it was a great weekend overall. But if I had to criticize something, they gotta work on that for next year if they return to Chicagoland. Like, I couldn't get reception, so it was hard trying to text with you. Like, I can get something here and there, but for the most part, like, I couldn't load up my tweets. I couldn't do shit. So, but yeah, you saying that though, man, it makes me feel kind of bad now because I wanted to meet Kamikaze. I wanted to meet everybody, man. Like, it was cool meeting you and what I was going to say, like, and yeah, I didn't know what to really like when I first meet people, man. Like, I gotta work up to it. Like, I'm an introvert at the end of the day. Like, I'm not, like, I explained this to you, like, like the day after the race. Like, I know in my videos I may seem like I'm kind of extroverted, but it's easier to come off that way because I'm in a house by myself in front of a microphone with nobody around. So it's pretty easy to come off that way compared to having somebody in your face. That's not me. I mean, I'm truly an introvert though. Like, I'm a laid back person. Like, I gotta build up to it. Like, I gotta get comfortable with people before I can really, like, be out there like that. So I bet you if you would have stayed around for a little bit longer throughout that race, I would have gotten more and more comfortable. Like, I get it. Like, we met. I mean, not we met. We we talk on Discord and all that and stuff. But, like, still, like, that's just how I am, though. But I mean, we talk though. Like, it's just that it was just tripped out at the end of the day. And I would have been like that with everybody else. Like, you just gotta just work up to it and everything. So. But yeah, I still wanted to meet everybody though, and just these people that I've been watching on YouTube for years. That would have been cool. So yeah, it was a fun race though. It was a fun experience. That was my first time being at Chicagoland ever, and it sounds so silly for me to say that because the track is only like 50 minutes away from me. So, and yet, like, for whatever reason, I've never been to the fucking track. What I was ready to say. Getting in wasn't that bad. I know they said that the grass was wet, but they still had us parking the grass anyway. We got out pretty easily. When the thing that was so fucking irritating was trying to look for our cars. It took us like, I don't know, man. It took us like a long time to find our cars because it was dark out. I wasn't feeling well. I was ready to get the fuck up out of there. Um, but yeah, like it wasn't like Michigan is bad, is worse, like the worst track when it comes to like leaving and entering. I've only been to 4 racetracks, but I've been to IRP, I've been to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, I've been to Michigan, I've been to Chicagoland. And out of those tracks, Michigan is the worst. So, um, yeah, it's the no reception, and then I'm not a big fan of parking on the grass, even though they have us do that at Michigan as well. But yeah, like the facility was pretty good. Nothing didn't look ragged or anything like that. The food was good. The fans are always, everybody is so nice at the racetrack. The people that work at the racetrack, the fans that you encounter, like you just having conversations with, people that's into the same thing as you. As frustrated as I get with people online, you think, it's so different from, Twitter to actually talking to people at the track. Obviously, I know some of y'all probably saying like, well, no shit, but it's just tripped out. So everybody's so friendly and everything, and yeah, I'm looking forward to going to Indy in a couple of weeks, and our friend that came, me and my brother friend that came to the race, that was his first race. He's been a NASCAR fan for a long time. He traveled from California all the way to Chicago to meet us for the first time in person. And that was he actually rode with me, and because we took 2 cars. My brother wanted to take his car because of I know I'm going on and on. Yeah, like it was a good experience though for all of us. You said there was like an iRacing thing. All we found was NASCAR 25, Logitech, and Toyota Sims. That was iRacing. Yeah, they had NASCAR 25 out there, but the Logitech and Toyota Sims, that was iRacing though. Like that was that's what we was talking about. We got on those things like 2 or 3 times because none of us don't got iRacing, so it was like we were just trying to take advantage of that. But yeah, we took pictures, and my brother was trying to walk the track, and they told him that he needed a pass for that, so that was kind of funny. Yeah, it was cool. Sunday night, let's see, hold on, my bad. You heard about Allgaier's contract extension today? Yes, sir, I did. And Denny Hamlin needs to do the same thing. If you're at the top of your game, you should stay around a little bit longer. When I saw that news, I was like, okay, now Hamlin, you need to do the same now. So Allgaier, man, he's got like a 220 something point lead, even though that's gonna get a race in a couple of weeks, unfortunately. He's gonna win some more races this year. And he just turned 40, man. Like, talking about retirement, like, not to mention you in the 2nd tier series, you can go do this until you're 50 something. Like, I just don't understand. These guys be trying to end it so early. Probably because they start at such a young age. compared to the guys back in the day. Like guys back in the day, they didn't make it to the Cup Series until they was like damn near 30. These guys can come into the Cup Series now at like 18, 19 years old. So, Austin Sullivan, you want to talk about Sunday night races? So I ain't gonna lie, man. I felt it the next morning after Atlanta. Chicagoland wasn't an issue because I took the next day off just in case it was like a rain out. That way I can come back to the track. But yeah, it what I was going to say, I felt it like when that race, if it wasn't for the rain, it would have ended like around like 10 o'clock. But the rain came and it didn't end till like 1 o'clock in the morning. I stayed up like an extra hour after that because I was just still amped up after the race. And I had to be up like 2 hours from then. I woke up, boy. I'm just out. I don't know how I went to work that day, but I did though. I was running on 2 hours of sleep because I stayed up to watch that race. I was like, damn, man. Like I don't know how I did it. Could have called off, but trying to make money. Allguy's been in a rally series since 24 or 23. Yeah, but still, like you're competitive. Like if I was a race car driver, I would run until the wheels fall off. That's just me. I'll be one of those guys. I'll be like a Harry Yant type of guy. Oh shit, I'll be like a Red Farmer type guy. That dude's still out there racing at like 80-something years old. Like, I'll be one of those type of guys. As long as my body can still do it, I'll get in the race car and still try to race. Night races really should be reserved for Saturday nights outside of Memorial Day and Labor Day weekends. So I don't have too strong of an opinion of it. I know I just said I felt it the next day, but that race was going to end at like at 10 o'clock. I do understand the frustration of it. Like if it's a school, like if you got school the next day or if you got to work the next day. I heard they got away from night races because it wasn't, those Saturday night races wasn't doing all that great when it came to ratings, and they decided to do Sunday nights instead. I don't mind them going back to Saturday night races. So that way, people are typically off on Sunday. So, if you do stay up to watch a Saturday night race, the next day you don't got to be nowhere. So, whether you in school or you just got a regular job, so. And it ends up working out well at the end of the day, but I wouldn't be against them going back to it, but at the same time, if they was to keep it like this, I wouldn't complain either. I get it though. I definitely do get it that it's pretty frustrating to have a race like tomorrow night. Not tomorrow night, but Sunday night is gonna be the third consecutive Sunday night race. So and I think weather is it's weather in the forecast too, if I'm not mistaken, like rain in the forecast. But I don't think it's too heavy. I don't think it's supposed to be too high of a percentage. So let's see, Caden Honeycutt swept the cars tour races. I got to get my flow racing back. I had to pause it for a little while because I signed up for the $40 monthly plan, and I'm gonna get it back though soon. But yeah, it would have been nice to watch it. I saw the highlights on Twitter though. Hey, Honeycutt, you've been going crazy lately in the late models. Wonder if he's gonna start doing it in the truck soon. Ryan Blaney broke an all-time plate racing record with that win. Yeah, they said that was like the most laps led at a super speedway from somebody since like the 60s or something like that. Got to factor in, of course, that Atlanta is pretty unique. So, not to mention it's more laps. So, give me one sec. Yeah, but let's see. I saw the stat. They said, or somebody said that I mean, they raced. If you talk about like for sure the place on the cars, then yeah, but if you're just talking about just in general, like unrestricted, yeah, they said like since the 60s, like at a super speedway, like that was the most dominant performance from the most laps led from a driver, just like I guess in general. Trying to see, hold on. Yeah, so what's going down? About to wrap up like in another couple of minutes. So I don't know if y'all know, I'm getting kind of tired, but I'm going on 2 hours doing this. It's been a fun stream though. It's been a interesting stream. It's good to be back because, like I said, I haven't been doing this. I haven't been on YouTube in a while, so just trying to get back into the swing of things. I got a video coming out sooner than later, and I just wanted to talk with y'all about so much stuff. It's so much stuff to talk about, and something I just realized that this is my first stream since Kyle Busch tragically passed away. Not trying to bring the mood down, but you know, I made that little video, a little tribute video to him. And I remember when I was making that video, I was a wreck. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, that still doesn't feel real. Yeah, that just that fucked me up for a couple of days. It fucked everybody up. Just I don't know, like it's just I just remember my phone. I was watching the 2003. I just had finished watching the 2003 7500. My phone was on the charger. I heard it go off a couple of times. And then once the race went off, I picked my phone up and my brother said that, yo, Cal passed away, like in a bunch of exclamation points behind it. And I'm like, Cal, like he didn't really say which Cal. I'm like, that can be Larson, that can be Bush. And then I checked on Twitter and saw the news, and when I saw that was confirmed, like I was breathing hard, my eyes were watering fast, like, and the first thing that I thought about doing was calling my brother, and we didn't even know what to really say. Like we were just kind of like, yo, like what? Like how is this even possible? And didn't mean to bring the mood down, but it was just I just wanted to talk about that because like I said, this is my first time streaming or just y'all hearing from me in general since that's happened. Because I think the last time I streamed was after the All Star race, and Bush was still here at the time. And then I think like a couple of weeks went by, and that's when the news broke about that. But yeah, it's just you know, when I was in Chicagoland and lap 8 came and I threw, 8 fingers in the air, and um, it just I feel like that TV needs to do that every week. I kind of noticed that they're pretty inconsistent with that, so he deserves to have that moment of silence on lap 8 for every race for the remainder of the year. Um, so yeah, this is true. Another reminder that we got to take advantage of every single day, like it's our last, and cherish every moment we get in life. Never know when it's your time to go, and that's true. Like, hug your loved ones, and you know, try to be nice to people. I know it's hard to do so. Um, it's just, it was just out of nowhere, and just how the way it happened and stuff like that. So yeah, but yeah, it's I'm proud of Braxton Bush. He's showing how strong he is. Just my prayers out to that entire Bush family, and just hoping they're doing better. It seems like they are, just from looking at Samantha's tweets, and you got Braxton behind the wheel, still racing. So yeah, but let's try to steer this back to something a little more positive. I'm gonna stay on him for like 5 more minutes, and then I'm gonna wrap up. Give me y'all picks for North Wilkesboro. Who's winning North Wilkesboro on Sunday? If y'all want to throw y'all truck picks in there too, like y'all can, but who's winning the cup race? I'm gonna say Ryan Blaney. I think he's gonna have a good car this weekend. I think he's gonna go back to back. My truck pick, man, like, Lane Riggs or Honeycutt. I don't really trust Honeycutt too much though. It seems like he just always comes up short. So could be a regular, could be Carson Hosevar. I mean, I say a regular, a cup guy. So, you also going with Blaney, and that's good picks right there. Those might be the winning vehicles this weekend. Trucks, Elliott, Cup, Larson. Hopefully. This is a track I see Larson running like, honestly, probably like 5th to 7th all day. Probably. I don't know if he's gonna have the. He'll probably have good short run speed, but he probably won't have the long run speed. I think that's when Toyota's gonna take over. Toyota and Ryan Blaney. It's probably gonna be Toyota versus Blaney throughout that night. But I think it's gonna be a good race though. I wish the O'Reilly series was racing this weekend. Let's see. I guess nobody didn't have no picks. Nobody else. But I see that things are slowing down though, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, because man, I've been sitting in this seat for 2 hours now. Need to get up after this. So about to keep an eye on this Cubs game, because we are back in action after the All-Star break. Hopefully we can have great second half and make the postseason. Um, thank you, Cito. Thank y'all. Thanks to everybody that came into the stream. Really appreciate it. Every time I go live, I be having this fear that nobody's gonna come in and that'll be embarrassing. But I recognize a lot of y'all. Y'all are the OGs, so I appreciate it. I'll try to tune in, man. I think I clicked on one of your streams before, if I'm not mistaken. So, it was a while back, but I'll definitely try to see if I can jump in if I can. But y'all have a good one though, and I'm gonna head up out of here. And yeah, until next time, peace.